We've written our instructions and now we need to check, edit and improve those instructions. So we're going right back to the beginning to this page first. We're going to take our purple pen if we've got one, or any colour will do if we haven't, and we're going to tick off the things that we have included, checking very carefully that they're actually there. There's a huge temptation now to just go, yeah, I think I've put that, tick, 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 tick. Anything that you haven't included, grab a highlighter if you've got one and highlight it as a reminder to go back and see if you can include it. It may not be necessary, you may decide that actually that particular feature doesn't need to be in your instructions, but we always check. And then we do exactly the same on this side. Tick the things that you've included, highlight the things that you haven't included, and here you can make the decision yourself really. It may be that you haven't included it because you've included something better, in which case don't highlight it. It may be that you haven't included it because it doesn't fit, or because actually you realise that it's not a great thing to magpie. That's fine too. But anything that you've highlighted that you think, oh, that's really good and I don't think I could put it anywhere and I think I could really use that, highlight it, and then as you go through your read-throughs you can see if you can find the opportunity to put it in. You're then going to do exactly the same on your plan. Now what you should have been doing, and I'm sorry I forgot to mention this, is you should have been ticking off as you've done each section of your plan. But if you haven't, now's the time to do it. Have I included all of the things that I put in my plan? And sometimes we haven't, and sometimes that's for a good reason, and sometimes we haven't because we've forgotten to follow our plan. So again, if there's something that you haven't mentioned, like I'm not sure if I mentioned slime, I'm going to highlight that as a reminder that I need to go and check that I've included that. That's the second part of our checking process before we've even looked at the writing that we've done. So now we're going to do 4 read-throughs, and it's really important you do this. So important that I'm going to ask you to pause the video after each read and do it. So the first read is simply a read aloud. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read this introduction aloud as it was before I changed it. You'll see I've made some changes in purple, but I want you to see why. Have you ever wanted to keep a unique and impressive pet? A pet that would be the envy of your friends? The Snarret has become the ultimate low maintenance pet. These brightly feathered gastropods are a hybrid of the parrot and the snail. These instructions will tell you how to take care of this rare breed. Now I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret now. Most of you who've seen these videos before will know that usually I write them at the same time as I record the video. The problem is this is my 3rd time of recording these videos because the first 2 went hopelessly wrong. So actually I've got everything written down already, and I'm sorry, but I'm not prepared to sit here and write it all out again and again and again. The first time I made these videos and I did this read through, I realised that here, a pet that will be the envy of your friends, the Snarret has become the ultimate low maintenance pet. I'd used pet in 2 sentences in quick succession, and I realised that I'd started 2 sentences in a row with these. Now that wasn't deliberate. I didn't deliberately think, oh, I'm going to start those 2 sentences with these so I can show you how to change them. Genuinely, that's what I thought worked really well the first time I wrote them. And that just goes to show you how valuable reading aloud is. Because, you know, I'm a teacher, I'm writing this and I'm designing this deliberately to show you all the different writing features that you can use in your own writing. And I didn't realise until I read it aloud how repetitive some of those words were. So please, please take the time to read it aloud really slowly. Purple pen in your hand, ready to make any changes. So I decided here to change pet to family friend, and I decided to change these in the second one to the following. So usually it's a really simple fix. What you're going to do now is you're going to go away and you're going to read your whole text aloud really slowly. It doesn't have to be in a really loud voice if there's lots of other people there. You can use a whisper voice and listen as you read in your head for those repeated words, for those missed out words, for those bits that just don't quite sound right. You might hear some of your tense issues, some of your grammar issues as you do that. You may also spot spelling and punctuation as you go through, but don't worry too much about that, because that's what reads 1 and reads 2 and read 3 are all about. So purple or different coloured pen in hand if possible, not just sitting there with its lid on, lid off, in your hand, ready to make changes as you spot them.